To defeat my enemy, I extinguish his life and consume him as I consume these flames.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my new Carino Burning Shot Ignite build. This is something that I put together with my Twitch community over stream a few days ago. We started at 1 million damage and now it is close to 50 million Ignite damage within 10 seconds. It absolutely destroys. As always, I will go through every single facet of this build and everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now the skills I'm going to be using for this build are Burning Shot, Blink, Bloodthirst, Aim, and Compound Potion. Now very simple. You shoot, once it gets 1 or 2 stacks on the enemy, it burns up. So a lot of times I'm running around hitting enemies and then they'll die as I am in front of them. Or they die before me, or behind me.
Your tainted soul. I'll need some time.
Get out of here. And our bullets pierce. Who else wants some? I know a lot of people just like fire in general, so this was a very requested build.
It's your honor to be judged by a member of the Herman family.
We're going wrong way. Everything burns. That was quick. Let's do another one. And we're off.
It's your honor to be judged by a member of the Herman family.
Where are we going? Look and shoot and just keep moving forward. You'll always leave a couple stragglers, but again, for the most part, everything dies behind you. Just making sure you actually get the stacks on the enemies. Now, some of the enemies obviously explode and then leave little smaller peeps. You can go back and kill them if you want.
Violence is not the answer to all.
Good night.
But it
Good
is
night.
the answer to your sins.
Anyone else?
I'll need some time.
Now again, this was a build that I created with my community over Twitch. So there's lots of gameplay on Twitch if you want to see it more in action and kind of the thought process behind it.
I shall purify your tainted soul.
Purify tainted souls. Yes, you will. And you dead. Dead very fast. Okay, we'll throw out some of these. Come on, don't kill me. I wish there was a button to throw them all out at once. Anyone else? No? Let me show you how to recreate this build. Now let's check out the skills for this Carino Igniter, starting with the main damage dealer, and of course that is Burning Shot. What you want is extra Ignite, Wind Projectiles, Fire Explosion, added fire damage, and Projectile Pierce. Now when I was playing this on Twitch for almost 5 hours, we went from 1 million damage to over 30 million, but we were still struggling with survivability. We were still struggling with being able to fluently and quickly get through maps. Well, the next day when I was kind of min-maxing and testing new things, it's because we did not have Projectile Pierce. This one support changed the entire build. Burning Shot by itself does not pierce. So with this, not only do you kill enemies a lot faster and enemies behind other enemies, but it also has ailment damage on it as well. completely changed the build around. You then want Blink, cooldown reduction, quick mobility, periodic burst, Bloodthirst, cooldown reduction, Bloodbath, and Mania, Aim, Mania, Bloodbath, and Soul Focus, and then Compound Potion, Berserk, cooldown reduction, Residues, and Armor Infusion. Now moving down to the passives, and we have a lot of them. You want Precise Deep Pain, Precise Flame Imbue, Precise Projectiles, Tendon Slicer, and Restrain. You can only get Restrain from purchasing it in the auction house or the trade house. And actually Precise Deep Pain, Precise Flame Imbue, and Precise Projectiles, all 4 of these were actually purchased inside of the trade house. You then want Cast on Critical Strike, Shadow Swamp to weaken, Scorching Pulse for Reap, and then Seal conversion. And last but not least, Curse on hit. We have Scorch, we have Abyssal Hatred, and we have Restrain once again. Those are the skills. So now let's check out the talents for this Igniter, and my character is level 92. So right now we are level 92. Starting with God of Might. I will slowly go through it, starting now. Scrolling. Okay. And on our way back, scrolling. Okay, what you want at 10 is Burnout. And if you are struggling with a late game boss, you could just easily click right here and then you'll eliminate 18% of health, okay? But for normal runs, you want Burnout. And then at level 20, you want Blazing Fire, which is an additional fire dot. All right, moving over to Warlord. We have 36 points into it, starting now. Scrolling. Right, and on our way back, just in case you missed it and you don't want to pause the video. All right, with 18 points in, you want Wildfire, and that's 100% additional fire damage against low life enemies. And then at 36, you want Starfire, 1% ignition duration and 50% ignited duration. All right. Last but not least, Psychic, and we have 38 points into this one, starting now. Rolling. Now I get lots of questions about the talent trees because obviously there's lots of ways that you can run it. It is hard to go through everything in a build guide, so if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section or check out my Discord. You can contact me directly. Okay, 18 points in, you want Affliction. And 36 points in, you want More with Less. And this changes. So if you can't get Reap Purification on your gear, which I will show you how, you want to take Reap Purification. But if you can get it on your gear, you want More with Less. Those two. All right. Those are the talents. So now let's check out the hero traits for this Carino Igniter. 15, no option. 32, you want top. 50, no option. 62, you want top. And then at level 80, you want bottom, where well prepared. This is going to give you +3 special ammo. Now, these little points down here are basically 3 additional support skills you get every single time you shoot special ammo, which is almost every single time. That's why I love Carino so much. It's basically like instead of having a skill with 5 supports around it, it's like having a skill with 8 supports around it. So, you know, that many more links gives you so much more options. This is where we have Reaping Agony, which is required. Okay. Then we have Cataclysm. And last but not least, Slow Projectile. Okay. Those are the hero traits. Moving over to everyone's favorite, and of course I'm talking about gear. Look at our Carino get stronger every day. Now, there are some gear requirements for this build if you wanted to synergize perfectly, and we're going to start with the amulet, okay? Now, best in slot amulet, in my opinion, is Whisper of the Silver Gun, and second best in slot is Magnus Mind Flame. Now, you will notice something about these 2 amulets. It is required I'm going to say it again. It is required that they have immune to ignite. You'll notice immune to ignite. You will notice immune to ignite. I'm going to say it for the third time. This build does not work unless your amulet has immune to ignite on it. I will say that these amulets are normally pretty cheap, but they do get more costly with this affix on it. The reason why is because the armor we are using is Dragon Breath armor. And as you can see down here, you always receive 479 ignite damage when there are enemies nearby. It is a debuff. It basically hurts you. You will always have 0 life if you don't have immune to ignite. So you have to take care of that through your amulet. And this armor is amazing. 205 fire damage. This can roll higher. You're going to get resistances. You're going to get life. You're going to get, this almost has 19,000 armor on it. And the best affix you can get is right here, 12% of physical damage added as fire. And this is just bonus damage. This added almost 20% damage just on this single affix. It is absolutely huge. Okay, so you've got the amulets and you've got the armor. We will go through everything else. Helmet, and on here, fire damage, and I've got cold resist on it as well. And this is for your ignition and your ignite stacks. Okay. Gloves, base fire, base fire, base fire, triple. Obviously, this is a good pair of gloves, and it has physical on it, and it has erosion resistance with armor. Our belt. So this is what I was talking about during the talents portion. You want to get an infinity belt, and specifically on it, you need reap purification. Okay. If your belt does not have this, then you actually need to click it in the talents. And again, it's a little bit of a costly belt, especially one that has armor and maximum life on it and all this other good stuff, but you want reap purification on your belt. Now we're going to move over to the next synergy, and that is your boots with your weapon. The weapon that you want is King Lionheart's Ambition. This one has almost 1,000 DPS on it because we've got the corroded gear physical damage on it. And as you can see right down here, 16% chance to gain 1 stack of agility blessing when hitting an ignited enemy, which means you will always have max stacks of agility blessing when you are playing. And why is that important? It's important because you are going to want feline steps. It is our dancing slippers, because on here you are going to get reaping cooldown recovery per stack of agility blessing, and you get a maximum agility blessing stack. So those work hand in hand, and it's going to make it so that you are reaping more often. And this one, I mean, you could go for evasion. You can try and get one of the more expensive affixes down here. I just took movement speed at 45% for our feline steps. Last but not least, our rings. And rings, you have a million options, okay? Million options. On here, I took ailment damage, and we needed some mana with resist. And then on this one, fire damage, physical damage, max mana, resistances, okay? My rings could certainly be better. They are the weak point for me right now for this build, but that is the gear. Last but not least, let's check out the pets that I am using for this build. And I always like telling people, I've never spent a cent on pets. These are just random pets that I've gotten through Dark Surge season, and they're not very good. Our first pet, we have a level 2 persistent, and this is our yellow Mike Wazowski Amber. Okay. Our second pet is a level 3 rare pet, and this is a survival. This is the Spiny Snail Cloudless. And last but not least, a level 1 epic pet, and this is for persistent damage. This is our greedy Chestnut Lotus Leaf. Look at this freaking guy. Okay. So on here, what it's going to give us is ailment, is affliction effect, and chance to cause ailments. Same thing down here. And then up here, we took some resistances. Okay. They're not very good, but those are my pets. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my new Carino Burning Shot Igniter? Is there something that I missed? Is there something that I could do to take this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of this video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it. It really does help the channel as we come to the end of 2022. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 50 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. We have a weekly blog post, weekly podcast, which is tonight. Access to the VIP lounge, so you can chit chat with me every single day. Special title for the Discord, and you get entered for custom merch every single month. Lots of other goodies depending on where you sign up at. Again, first link in the description. Hopefully you liked this build, or at least were entertained. Aaron,
It's my
out.
duty to collect.